Mr. Acting Speaker, I rise this morning to provide this Honourable House and the public with an update on roadside sobriety checks. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Road Traffic Sobriety Checkpoint Amendment Act 2018 introduced measures that aim to curtail impaired driving, to create safer road conditions for motorists, and ultimately to save lives. The majority of people who die tragically in Bermuda die as a result of road traffic collisions. Mr. Acting Speaker, the roadside sobriety checks continues to be a resource-intensive activity for the Bermuda Police Service. Each checkpoint is manned by 8 to 14 officers, and there are sometimes more than one active checkpoint at a time. Since its launch in 2018, in September 2018, which during that time, only the Road Policing Unit, or the RPU, about 19 officers were trained. Is he sorry?
Thank you for your indulgence, Deputy Speaker. Rise in the House this morning to apologize. I realize that the Speaker had taken offense to my actions, and I beg your indulgence. Thank you. Should have inferred, yes, I do apologize to the Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and to the entire House. My apologies.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Roadside Sobriety Checkpoint Amendment Act 2018 introduced measures that, number one, aim to curtail impaired driving, and number two, create safer road conditions for motorists and ultimately save lives. The majority of people, Mr. Acting Speaker, who died tragically in Bermuda die as a result of road traffic collisions. Mr. Speaker, roadside sobriety checkpoints continue to be resource-intensive for the Bermuda Police Service. Each checkpoint is manned by 8 to 14 officers, and there are sometimes more than one active checkpoint. Since the launch in mid-September 2018, which at a time only the road policing units, about 19 officers, were trained in using the handheld devices, to date I can confirm in this House that all operational uniform officers that are deployed from all 3 police stations are now fully trained. Mr. Speaker, sobriety checkpoint locations have included almost every parish. The checkpoints take place on public roads in locations where it is reasonable suspicion that incidents involving the consumption of alcohol may take place, and allow for the administration of breath tests to determine whether or not a motorist has been driving whilst intoxicated. All requests for roadside sobriety checkpoints are submitted to the senior magistrate and then are published in the Gazette 5 to 14 days before the date of the checkpoint. Mr. Speaker, during the period of January to October 2019, there have been 153 persons arrested as a result of driving under the suspicion of driving whilst under the suspicion of alcohol, or the influence of alcohol. The above arrests include motorists who refused to provide a sample of breath for examination. Those who did provide a specimen for examination include varying levels of alcohol consumption. The highest category are being 9 persons in the limit of 240 milligrams to 279 milligrams of alcohol in the range. 6 persons that were arrested for 280 milligrams of alcohol, and the highest level of alcohol in 80 milliliters of blood was 380 milligrams of alcohol. Please bear in mind, Mr. Speaker, that the legal limit is 80 milligrams. Mr. Speaker, in regards to the arrest by gender, ethnicity, and nationality, I'm able to provide the following information. Out of the 153 people arrested, 133 were male, 20 were female. Out of the 153 arrested, 110 of those people were black, and 25 were white, and the rest identified as other. The youngest arrested out of the 153 people was a 19-year-old, with the oldest person arrested out of the 153 persons was 71. However, the predominant age bracket of those arrested was from 30 to 50 years of age. 143 of the 153 people arrested were Bermudian, 1 British, and 9 were unknown. It should also be noted that 47 of the arrests came as a result of collisions and 156 without. This evidence that the proactive approach by the Bermuda Police Service to identify persons driving whilst intoxicated through drink is being effective. Mr. Speaker, I want to highlight that some of the road traffic collection data over the last 5 years with a notable positive reduction in fatal collisions, 50% reduction compared with the 3 years prior. It is considered that roadside sobriety testing has contributed to the reduction of both operational terms in arrest and regarding to public awareness and changes in culture towards the dangers of driving whilst under the influence of alcohol. Noting that there is a positive shift in the business that support many licensed premises offering free transport to patrons and greater use of taxis and help to the nighttime economy. Mr. Speaker, the total collisions in 2015, 1335, that increased in 2016 to 1,400, a decrease in 2017 to 1,249, 2018, 1,467, and in 2019, a drop to 1,117. Fatalities in 2015 were 7, fatalities in 2016 were 11, fatalities in 2017 were 15, fatalities in 2018 were 12, and fatalities in 2019 dropped to 6. Slight injury, Mr. Acting Speaker. In 2015, slight injuries were at 583. In 2016, 637. In 2018, 560. In 2018, 658. And in 2019, a drop to 596. Mr. Speaker, serious injury. In 2015, 496. Mr. Acting Speaker, in 2015, serious injuries, 101. Mr. Speaker, 2016, 84. 2017, 64. 2018, 92. And 2019, Mr. Speaker, 90. Damage only, Mr. Speaker. In 2015, 644. In 2016, 668. 2017, 610. 2018, Mr. Acting Speaker, 705. And a significant reduction, Mr. Acting Speaker, to damage only, reduced in 2019 to 525. Mr. Acting Speaker, the Bermuda Police Service will operate roadside sobriety testing throughout the festive period beginning on December 6, 2019. Mr. Speaker, I have stated before that I am aware that these checkpoints may be considered intrusive and bothersome by some members of the public. But however, Mr. Speaker, in a country where one of the leading causes of premature death is road traffic collisions, these checkpoints are a necessary inconvenience. Mr. Speaker, I am reminded of the story believed to be written by Mr. Lawrence Isley, who was an American anthropologist, an educator, a philosopher, and a natural science writer, who taught and published books in the 1950s through the 1970s. Mr. Acting Speaker, the story has been adapted over the years, and it goes like this. One day, a man was walking along the beach, and he noticed a boy picking up something and gently throwing it into the ocean. Approaching the boy, he asked, "What are you doing?" The young man replied, throwing a starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out. If I don't throw them back into the ocean, it will die. Son, the man said, don't you realize there are miles and miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You can't make a difference. After listening politely, the boy bent down, he picked up another starfish, and he threw it back into the surf. And smiling to the man, he said, I made a difference for that one starfish. Mr. Speaker, I am hopeful that the continuance of the roadside sobriety checkpoints would lead to a shift in Bermuda's drink driving culture. If the roadside sobriety checkpoints initiative will just stop one person over the weekend from operating a vehicle whilst under the influence of alcohol, if the roadside sobriety checkpoints will prevent just one person from dying on our roads, I believe it is indeed worth the inconvenience, and we all have made a difference. Thank you, Mr. Acting Speaker.